And you are listening to the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast, coast to coast and Boda to Boda on iHeartRadio. Also, 990 WBOB out there in Rhode Island, of all places. And we have got two great guests with us today. Gentlemen, go ahead and introduce yourselves, and we'll talk a little bit about the music here.
How you doing? I'm
Pretty good,
Bryan.
actually.
I'm the vocalist in VCS.
I'm Chris. I play drums for VCS.
So talk to us a little bit about how the band got together as a group.
So me and the guitar player, yeah, it's all my fault. Me and the guitar player, Josh, we used to play in a band back in like 06, 07, and we just decided to start something new in 2020, the end of 2020, during the whole pandemic thing. And me and Chris have been friends forever, since we were kids. And me and Josh started the band, started writing songs. We needed a drummer. Hit up Chris. Rest is history, huh?
Well, it's funny because him and Josh come from a very metal background, and I've been punk rock forever. So when he hit me up, you know, I liked the context of what they wanted to do, but I was like, I didn't know what they needed me for because they've always done metal stuff. But that was kind of the birth of the kind of crossover between the mash between metal and punk. That's kind of where the sound ended up coming from. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, all of us, everyone in this band grew up listening to both punk and metal, you know, and it's all tied in Southern California with the extreme sports and all that, skating, snowboarding, surfing, all that stuff.
So how exactly does somebody get a hold of you guys online? You know, where exactly does that start? The website, social media, how's that all work for you guys?
Social media definitely is the forefront of it right now. There's a new website coming out. That'll be out by the end of the month. But yeah, for now, social media, that's probably the easiest.
Instagram is kind of the main one we concentrate on, and Facebook.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we have got two great guests with us today. They join us live here on our big broadcast. So you guys have been causing all sorts of news on the internet as far as people love your music and all the various things. Talk to us a little bit about some of the feedback you guys have gotten on your music so far.
I mean, it's all been mostly positive, huh?
You never know what you're going to get out of it. You know, it's weird. Like, we've been called the black dress because they kind of like us in the metal world and the punk world. You know, we do shows with bands like Agent Orange, and we have a great time. It's widely accepted. And then, you know, the very next thing we'll do a show with DRI, and it's the same response. You know, we kind of went into it wondering what, you know, like you're saying, what the response was going to be, what the acceptance level was going to be. But for some reason or another, we seem to have a good time no matter which side of the road we fall on.
Yeah.
It's been going pretty good for us, actually.
That's
weirdly.
Awesome. That's awesome. So if it wouldn't have went that way, what would you guys have done?
The exact same thing.
Yeah, and we just would have been probably getting in more fights at shows or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, like everybody in a band said, we're just doing what we do, man. No, it's, you know, we didn't have a goal in mind with this project. I mean, we've all been in music forever. But with this particular project, you know, we just kind of, because of 2020, we went back to just what we really enjoyed doing. We let the music write itself just through our different styles. And it was only ever going to be what it is. You know?
Yeah, the whole thing evolved organically. You know, it's not like we went into it going, yeah, we're going to be this mesh of punk and metal. And like, there's a formula. We didn't do any of that shit. We just started writing songs. We're a product of our influences. You know?
This was only ever going to be what it is. The fact that people are enjoying it is just a bonus.
Right. It's icing on the cake.
That is awesome. We have got two great guests with us today. They, of course, are from VCS. They have released This Is the Line, which is a incredible new album. Talk to us a little bit about this new album.
I'll let you have that one.
Oh, thanks.
Go for it and tell your story.
Well, I mean, the album is just it's a mix of like the first few songs we started writing as a band, and then as we've evolved, you know, we've evolved, and I don't know. I mean,
the whole thing is kind of the agenda of it's a wake up call. I mean, the music itself is like the early evolution of what the band became. We've got the other records that are ready to drop behind this are really where we sunk our teeth into the style that it kind of became. But musically, this was like the evolution of this band, and topically, I mean, that's just been Bryan. You know, he had the brainchild of really wanting to kind of shake stuff up.
Yeah, I definitely want to make people aware of kind of what's going on in society, institutions of power that kind of run things, and you know, awaken people to the fact that they are being controlled, they are being in a way covertly enslaved, and so people need to understand what's happening out there, and people need to understand what's happening in here and do the internal work, the shadow work, and really heal themselves. And those are the steps that kind of need to be taken to heal society. What is that?
We have got VCS with us today. They join us live here on our big broadcast. This is The Line is the latest from them. And we are going to do this. We are going to play some of their music here in just a few moments. So you guys are available on Spotify. Talk to us a little bit about this song. You guys have put a video out for it. And I know I'm going to butcher the name. Pharmakia? Is that how it is? Pharmakia. There we go.
Yeah. So
Jiggy Jaguar, the ugly American strikes again. Go ahead and doctor us.
It's the root word of pharmacy. That's where we get
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But back in the ancient days, I guess, it had a much darker connotation than it does now. It was sort of related to mind control, and sort of mind control using chemical means.
Okay.
Was the connotation that the word pharmakeia had. So I'm drawing parallels between modern big pharma and sort of the dark magic connotation that the word pharmakeia had. So that's why I chose that name.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. We have got VCS with us today. We're going to place them on a brief hold. We are going to play this song. When we come back, we will have more with VCS. It is Pharmakeia, and it is on your world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast right now. It is Pharmakeia, and here we go.
Fuck you, Big Pharma! This one's called Pharmakeia!
CDC and FDA.
I love the fact, I'll get into this. I love the fact that these guys are they're like a punk rock band, and they're like a heavy metal band, and they're singing about the New World Order. I just find that amazing. We are going to go back to the band VCS, and they join us live here on our big broadcast. I do love the fact that VCS violates community standards. I love those. I love the fact that it is that. I do love the fact that that was, by the way, was Pharmakeia. What I think is amazing about you guys is that you are realistically, like a punk metal band. You guys are singing about modern day issues, and unfortunately, modern day issues is these guys, the New World Order. I'm amazed by the fact that you have a song about Big Pharma, and you throw in all the stuff that I talk about on the political show. The fact that the media is paid off, which I did not really realize just how much the media is paid off by the pharmaceutical industry until I was at a local YMCA, and they had local TV on, and it was Big Pharma ad after Big Pharma ad, and I'm like, my God. And now they just have stuff for diseases that nobody really has.
Yeah, exactly.
Take this thing. Oh, your leg falls asleep. Well, it's probably blah blah blah, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Go get this pill.
Google that.
I'm amazed by this. But I think what is fantastic about you guys is that you guys are singing about all the stuff. Kids when they used to have metal bands or punk bands or whatever the hell that they had, they would sing about, well, the man's holding me down, and oh my God, this and that, and police violence and all this crap. And it's like you guys are singing about modern day stuff.
Well,
the New World Order is screwing us all.
They've always said that punk rock was the thinking man's rock and roll, and like you were saying about the name Violates Community Standards. Some people get it confused, like we're out there trying to just break shit and be assholes, but it's really, we have a poster that sums it up better, and it's the only way to save our community now is to violate community standards.
That's right.
Yeah, the standards we're referring to are the standards set by an elite that's made up of psychopaths that don't care about the people. They care about consolidating their own
James Bond villains. Like this, like that Klaus Schwab guy.
Yes. He's like the epitome of a James Bond villain.
He does.
Fucking crazy.
Or Gavin Newsom, who Gavin Newsom, or as Alex Jones likes to call him, the American Psycho. Which he does look like Patrick Bateman. There is a few things.
Yeah. He has that superficial sociopathic charm.
Yes. Yes.
He's got the real handsome smile, and he's all done up, but you can see that gleam in his eye.
Yes. I think my favorite Gavin Newsom thing was when they had that press conference when they had the Chinese leader coming out there, and he cleaned up all the homeless, and he threw up fences, and he did all these things. And then somebody was like, well, you're just cleaning them up because you got international leaders coming here. And he's like, well, a lot of people say that's what we're doing. And yeah, you're right. That's what we're doing. And I'm like, wow, they just don't care anymore. It is amazing. Well, that's like I seen a deal the other day that if they do this is well, I shouldn't say this is the most insane thing, because they did COVID after all. Right. Or as Mancow calls it, what was it? The plandemic is what Mancow refers to it as. But that whole thing of they're thinking about somehow, some way, sliding old Kamala Harris off the ticket and putting Hillary Clinton on. And I'm like, if that isn't the New World Order ticket, I don't know what is.
Right.
Biden and Clinton on the same ticket. Are you out of your mind? The most corrupt. Well, hey, here's the thing. If they do that,
if you threw a Bush in there for like a Bush relative, someone from Bush family,
yes.
you have the trifecta.
Yes. I'll take a dash of war criminal, and we'll. Well, my thing is that if
corrupt banker.
That's right. If they do that, I can almost guarantee you, Hillary Clinton will not only hold.
Motivation, they just do it right in front of our face.
Oh yeah. They don't care anymore. It's the craziest deal. Well, the thing is that if they do that, Hillary Clinton will hold 2 records. She will be the first person to lose to Donald Trump as the presidential nominee. And then the second, she will be the first person to run as VP to lose to Donald Trump. It's like, we don't need these records.
Boxes.
Yeah, right.
We don't need these records, baby. We have got VCS with us today. They are fantastic, and you can get more information online. How do people get your stuff, whether it's the website, social media, the music, and anything? How do they make this happen?
Well, they can stream the record on Spotify.
Okay.
Apple Music, anywhere you buy music, you can get the album.
Yeah, it's on every platform.
That's awesome.
As far as like our physical merch, come to shows. We're setting up a website, and we're going to have a merch page, a fully functional merch page where we can send out merch, custom orders.
That just follow Instagram for that one. You can order stuff on social media. We'll mail it wherever. But you can just stay up to date with what's going on Instagram. It'll have the launch of the website. That'll be, it's a couple weeks out still, but that'll have online, order capabilities. It's going to have some other cool features too, with opportunities to tune in. We're going to get a mailing list going to where you can chime in for live rehearsals on a limited invite kind of thing. And there'll be different features that'll be tied into that website as well.
That's awesome. We have got VCS with us today. They join us live here on our big broadcast. They have released This Is the Line, which is a fantastic new album. Talk to us a little bit about this new album. The writing process, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, so this is a culmination of the last, 3 years of writing songs.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can see the progression, and I think you can definitely see our different influences. You can hear all the different influences. And, a lot of crossover bands, they have a sort of not that I want to rag on it because I love crossover, I love DRI, I love all these bands, but we like to incorporate a little melody into the vocals, which a lot of crossover bands don't do, sort of punk metal hybrid bands.
Yeah.
So yeah, the writing process has always gone super smoothly. It's just us doing what we do in a room.
Well, and that was the big thing too, like you're saying with the melody base on the vocals. One of the things we really wanted to really wrap our teeth around, or sink our teeth into, was we needed people to be able to really hear the vocals, to do our best, like to get that gritty approach. Brian's he's kind of got a tough road there because we want the message. It's so message driven, the context to all this. Yet we still wanted to keep the energy and grittiness in there. That was kind of the evolution, was really trying to figure out how to get that out there. And I don't know how many people know about it, but Bryan, this singing thing new to him. He's a guitar player. Yeah, his whole life.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, he's a better guitar player than anybody in our band. And we had on this album, there's a song called Intermission, and there's no vocals, it's just an instrumental, and it's got Bryan on lead guitar, or Bryan's playing guitar, Josh, our guitar player, and then Jason, JP Sin from Narcoleptic Youth, they're all having a lead battle the whole time. And ever since then, I mean, Jason's an absolute phenomenal guitar player. And every time I see him, he's like, hey, by the way, you're doing yourselves a disservice by not having that dude on a guitar. It's like
that's awesome.
Yeah,
how is that the only thing you bring up every time I see you now, bro? Like,
yeah, the reason I'm doing vocals in this band is just because I was so determined to get this message out, and I had to do it my way, you know. And I'm not going to write lyrics and vocal parts for some other singer to sing. You know, it always kind of bummed me out, like when you learn, like The Who, you know, Pete Townsend wrote everything, and then Roger Daltrey just sang it, you know, and that kind of thing, it just bums me out. So I was like, well, if I'm going to be writing the lyrics and coming up with the vocal melodies and doing the thing, I guess I'm going to be the singer, you know. But
that's awesome.
It's a role I'm still trying to get comfortable in.
Well, that is pretty
badass.
You got
to give him warm fuzzies every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah.
That's one of
my head. Good boy.
Yeah, you got this. Good job, big guy. That's, you know, the positive response is helping us in that immensely.
Yeah, for sure.
Anytime we run into like anytime he's showing any insecurities or anything else, we've got a lot of crap we can pull up to him. Like, hey, look, bro, you know, you may be struggling with it in your own mind, but nobody's picking you out about it. Nobody's picking on you. Nobody's calling you out. Like,
yeah, nobody's.
Whatever you're hearing, you know, like it's in your head, bro.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Once you're locked in your role, you just got to jump in and
do it.
We have got the band VCS with us today. They join us live here on our big program, and you're listening to us here on 990 WBOB in Rhode Island, of all places. Also KFRK in Denver, and of course 50 plus AM FM stations across the country and around the world. Online at JIGGY.com, and our videos are uploaded to Rumble, BitChute, CloutHub, YouTube, when they allow us. And, of course, BitChute and twitching on the Twitch today with VCS. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which I found amazing, and I just think it's great. You put the video that we just played on Odyssey. Talk to us a little bit about, one, why you put it there, and two, how the hell you got it there.
Well, so we originally uploaded the video to YouTube, and within literally 15 minutes...
Medical misinformation violation.
Medical misinformation. What? Lyrics to a song got yanked from YouTube for medical misinformation. Unbelievable.
I got a notification the other day from a video that we uploaded 3 years ago, I think it was. I think the thing has 3 views. And it was because IQ Al Rizzoli said something about Big Pharma or something. And I'm like, first of all, nobody watched this goddamn video. Second, it took you 3 years to find it?
I know, right?
You gotta wonder about how deep they're digging into finding anything.
Right.
I was amazed.
I can't
by
believe
this.
that doesn't set alarm bells off for more people. You know, like they're going at small content creators and small bands that hard to censor this message. Why? You know, if you don't see something wrong there, you don't sense something wrong there, you are very, very entrenched in the matrix. You know, you are very deep in the mind control.
Something
which we know most people are. So.
Well, yeah. Well, that's like I need to have you guys on the political show sometime so we can we can have this discussion with Dan Perkins, IQ Al Rizzoli sometime. But you know, when they did the whole thing with Trump, where they convicted him on all those crimes, the 13 crimes or whatever, I immediately thought, okay, you know what happened? He got out of that courthouse. He got into the limo or the rental car or wherever the hell he was going, And you know the phone rang. And there was somebody on the other end that said, hey, we can make all this go away if you just drop out. And I say that to all sorts of people all the time. And they always are like, oh,
a few times.
That's all bullshit. That stuff never happens. And I'm like, yes, it does, because there is a specific example that I always quote. I don't know if you guys ever remember when Glenn Beck was on Fox News way back in the day. And they put him on at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Put him in a spot nobody's watching TV. Because most people are either getting off work, going to work. They're in the car. They paid attention to Fox News 4 Central, 5 Eastern in the afternoon. And Glenn started bringing out all this information. I mean, he would pick out little tiny people that were in the Obama administration. And he would expose them for all the crazy shit they were doing. And then they would just magically resign. And then he did it again. And then they would magically resign. Well, then one day...
Verbal sniper.
Well, what was funny is one day he got on his radio show and then he got on Fox that very afternoon. And he's like, politics is a nasty business. I am all about peace and love. I'm done with politics. And then he went out and he bought a bomb-proof limo. He hired a security team for his house. He moved to Texas. I'm like, holy crap, what the hell did they tell him in that phone call?
Oh, yeah. He either really got paid or they had something on him.
Because it wasn't until Trump started running that all of a sudden old Glenn was talking about how he wanted to be back in politics, do all these things. And I'm like, what they tell you on that phone call?
Well, I mean, you can't trust what you hear in corporate media,
Well, yeah.
Whether it's Fox News, CNN,
well, yeah,
MSNBC.
yeah. I think the whole group is, one of the things that I thought was funny. Well, not so much funny. It was more or less a sad deal. But the night that Trump got elected, for the second time. The night that he ran against Biden, and then of course the night that he ran against Hillary, Fox and MSNBC and all these people, they did all this exit polling, and they kept asking all these people that were coming out of the voting booth, what are some of your things that you're concerned about? And a lot of people started talking about gun rights. They thought people should have health care. They thought people should have a livable wage. And then as soon as that stuff started becoming a huge thing and it was a regular thing, all of a sudden they stopped putting those exit poll questions on the air. And I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
People want to hold on to their guns. They want health care. They want more money. We can't talk about that. That's got to go away.
We're getting too much of the actual opinion out there right now. We need to knock this shit off.
Yeah. Well, once your eyes are open to the tactics that they use, it's very plain. It's right in your face. But
well, it's kind of like this thing that they're polling on RFK where they were going to do this debate, and then all of a sudden he's like, I want in, and they're like, well, we've got all these things you have to do. And then he's like, okay. So he went and did all of them. And then they're like, you got to do these extra things too. And then he's like, can't get it done in that amount of time. They're like, sorry, can't get on the debate. And I'm like, really?
Shocker.
Yeah. Well,
really?
They mastered this game.
Just move the goalpost even more for him.
Yeah.
So what is next for you guys? What is going to be the next thing you guys are going to tackle? You've done big pharma. What's the?
You mean as far as subject matter?
Yeah. What's the next thing?
Well, I mean, I think I'm going to go deeper into the technocratic agenda, and that whole thing, and some of, like we talked about earlier, some of these probably not naming names, but some of these guys like Klaus Schwab and some of these.
Oh yeah.
The Great Reset and all that kind of thing. But I also do want to explore more the ideas of self-improvement and doing the shadow work.
That's awesome.
Also some deeper, more occult concepts related to reality and what it actually is. And you as a whole, as a society, we need to heal our internal wounds. That's the only way that things are going to change. We need to become aware of how to be a moral people. We need to follow principles instead of picking a side and just going with that.
Yep.
So you got to break the mind control, and one of the only way to really do it is to heal, clear up all that gunk internally. Yes. And then you start raising your frequency, and then you start understanding what's happening. And then, like we talked about, you start seeing these things in the media and in politics, and you're like, oh, okay, my eyes are open now.
Yeah, you're not afraid to look around. You're not afraid to wake up. Yeah. I mean, we have songs on the first album that touch on that, like The Real Plague, all about fear, and internal sovereignty, is touching on doing that internal work, and just more of a deeper dive into that,
That's awesome.
The
next record's going to be called Drop the S, and it's an absolute wake-up call.
Yeah. It's good. The next record's going to be even more intense and aggressive than this one.
That's awesome.
Still keeping to, catchy vocal stuff, and we want to hook people in. We love hooks and awesome vocal stuff, but
that's awesome.
We also love aggression. So it's going to be ramped up. It's going to be kind of a call to arms.
That's awesome. Well, okay. So I gotta throw 2 dates at you guys.
All right.
One, I believe it would be July 2nd. Let me see here. July 2nd at 4 Central, 5 Eastern. Would you guys be available that day?
Sure.
Think so, yeah.
Because I didn't know what your work schedules or band schedules or any of the stuff was like. Because I would love to have you on that day with IQ and Dan to discuss all the stuff we've talked about today, plus the band itself, the whole 9 yards, because I think that would be amazing if we could have you guys on for either 30 minutes or the whole damn hour would be so much fun. Because you guys would love the hell out of Dan Perkins, and IQ, as my good friend Don Mazzella would say, you spend 30 minutes with IQ, he'll scare the shit out of you. So he never, like for instance today, we're on all the video sites. We're on YouTube and BitChute and all these places. IQ, I've never seen the guy's face. He doesn't show his face because this guy has more fatwas on his head. He's got so many people that hate him and want to kill him. And all you ever do is hear him. You never see him.
Wow.
Wow. How long have you been in contact with him?
Oh, God, for at least 10 years. The guy, Dan Perkins, who was going to be also on that interview, took a vacation to Europe and met IQ for the first time face-to-face. And he was like, at the end of it, he goes, me and my wife just wanted to get a photo with him. And he's like, can't do it. It's like, I can't have any of that out there. And at the end of it, Dan's like, I then, realized, yeah, we can't exactly take a photo and put it up on Facebook. Hey, we met our friend IQ. So I want to have you guys on that. And I also, who knows where the hell I'm going to be, because who knew I was going to be broadcasting from a haunted house at this stage of the game. But it's just such a strange story in itself. But election night, we do a thing every presidential election where we go live on all of our various stations. We have all sorts of people Skyping in, chiming in. On election night, I would love to have you guys Skype in at some point and talk to us a little bit about what, you're seeing, what you're hearing, all this stuff. I think that would be the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
If you guys have
we'd be
the
up for
time.
that.
So, but we can deal with that as we go down the line, because goddamn, it's almost the beginning of July, middle of June. Who knows? I could be living in Wisconsin by the time the election rolls around. I don't know. Hopefully I'm in Nevada, but and hopefully I'm not still in the haunted house. But let's plan July 2nd to have you guys on the political show with IQ and Dan. And before I let you guys go, because we got to get to the top of the hour and all the shenanigans and all the nonsense. Plus, I think I've got a porn star calling me at some stage of the game. It is hour number 2, after all. Tell me how we get a hold of you guys online, how we purchase the music, all the stuff.
Yeah, so we're on all the platforms, Apple Music, all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Deezer, I don't know, all of those. And then, you can get a hold of us if you want to message us personally, Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms. And then, like Chris was saying, soon we're going to have a website up. And, that's, I guess, if you just want to stream the record, go to Spotify.
That's awesome.
If you want to help us keep getting more out, you can go buy that thing at Apple.
That'd be nice. We would appreciate it.
That's right. Well, you guys are amazing. I look forward to talking to you guys on the 2nd on the political show with IQ and Dan. And what we'll do is just use this Skype link that I've got that you guys have now. Okay. And just on the 2nd, I will pop in here and I'll have Dan and IQ, and we'll just, as they say, jump off the good foot and do the bad thing that day. So. It will be fun. Good. Well, thank you guys. This has been a pleasure. I really enjoyed chatting with you guys. Thanks for making it work with your schedule. And we will talk to you on the 2nd. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, gentlemen. There they go. That is VCS. They join us today here on our big program. And you're joining us each and every day over there at JiggyJaguar.com. Yes,